Hello and welcome to your yoga practice with me. I think many people at the moment are feeling quite overwhelmed with a pressure to return to normality, having had some easing off of the lockdown or the circuit breaker as they're calling it here in Singapore. People have rushed out over the last week or so to see friends, see family, make appointments and have busied themselves up probably a little bit too much too soon. So our practice today is going to be very much focused on cooling down and easing. We will be doing a warm-up with a few sun salutations and variations of those, but slow and steady. I'll be leading you through a few standing poses, and then I'm going to lead you through a wonderful guided visualization, a meditation, which is really what everything is leading up to. So do make sure that you've got a nice blanket or a towel that you'll be able to put underneath your head as a pillow. And if you're somewhere cold, make sure that you've got another one to place over you, because you'll be lying down for a good 5 to 7 minutes. You're also going to need a strap or a yoga belt and a glass of water. We'll be moving a little bit to begin with warming up, so you might want to take a few sips of water. And bear in mind to not be ambitious here. This is very much about nurturing and easing, finding space and some levity in your body and your mind and your heart. Having gone through extremes this year, and also even my yoga classes in the last few weeks have been quite strong and tough and ambitious. So this really is a whole counter swing the other way to relaxation and bringing some ease and grace. So this is a lovely class for you to come back to at any time you want to just rest and relax and be led through a wonderful, nourishing visualization. So please begin in a bent kneed, downward facing dog. Place your hands nicely, set up your foundation well, and separate your feet quite wide apart to the edges of the mat, as well as your hands. And with your bent knees, you can really push your hands forward and lengthen your spine. And do make sure you've got a lot of space in between your hands, both of your hands and both of your feet. So you've got a very nice wide base. Then begin to straighten your legs, stretching the backs of your knees. Press down through your heels. Don't worry about your heels touching the floor. Just feel a nice lengthening in the backs of your legs. A lengthening in your entire body. Now bring both of your knees to the floor. Bring your big toes together to touch side by side and come to child's pose. Walk your hands forward, arms straight here, so there is some strength and alignment work going on here, arms more or less parallel. Bring your forehead either onto your towel or, if you can, onto your mat. Take a few smoother, more even breaths here. And really let the weight of your head rest down to the floor so that your neck can soften and relax. Keep your eyes open. Come up now to hands and knees. So press the tops of your feet down. Raise your chest. Separate your feet. Coming into a variation of twisted child's pose here. Keep your right hand on the floor, but pick your left hand up and thread it underneath your right armpit. And stretch it long towards the right hand side of your mat as you rest your temple, or just the left side of your head onto the floor. You might even have some contact with the left shoulder. Now, please feel free to stay here, pressing your right hand into the floor. But if you would like to, and bring a bit more stretch into the right shoulder, pick up your right hand and bring the back of your hand around the left side waist or the left hip. If this puts too much pressure on the side of your head, don't do this. So make some nice decisions here for yourself as to what variation of the pose suits you. I think very often people feel like they have to try what they consider the more advanced version of the pose. In this class today, please be aware of any thoughts like that come to your mind and choose the variation that suits you, especially if you're feeling particularly tired. If you have got that hand around you, Now slide it away and bring your right hand back down to the floor. And coming out of the pose, push your right hand down and come to the other side. Bring your left hand down, kind of below your left shoulder. Bring the right hand under, palm faces up. And again, thread your arm underneath that left armpit and reach with it. So there is some reaching and lengthening going on here. Side of the head to the floor. Slightly press your knees towards each other. And you have that option again, if you want to pick up your left hand and bring the back of your hand around the right side waist, perhaps even tucking in around the right inner thigh. Press your right hand down to take off some of the weight bearing in your head. And then coming out of this, stretch your left hand up to the ceiling if it was behind you and bring your hand to the floor. Come into puppy dog pose. Bring your hands towards the front of your mat. Your thigh bones stay straight up and down. Bring your forehead to the floor and stretch your chest, really broadening your collarbones here. Encourage that by turning your inner elbows up towards the ceiling. Gently press your knees towards each other, using about 20% of your weight, of your strength rather. And now make your way back to downward facing dog. So pick up your head, walk your hands back, tuck your toes under, lift up your knees. Again, a wide down dog. Now, putting a little bit more movement into this pose, just swing your bottom over towards the left a little bit, keeping both of your arms straight. Come back to center, go over to the right. Go all the way over to the left again. Maybe a little bit further this time, and then over to the right. Come back to center. Staying in downward facing dog, spin both of your heels over to the left. So the inner right foot is on the floor and the outside, the little toe edge of the left foot. And push your hands forward more so you don't come forward into more of a plank. You're still staying in down dog. Pick up your heels and spin them over to the right. You might want to adjust your foot placement here so that you can really blade them down. And they look like they're in a straight line. Let your head hang. Bring your heels back up again. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat, coming into a wide-footed Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Please feel free to bend your knees here so that you can really push your fingers into the floor, giving yourself some more support. Then coming up to standing, bend your knees, sweep your arms out to the side. Come all the way up. Look at your hands if your neck feels okay, and bring your hands together. And then bring your hands down in towards your heart. And then down by your sides, coming to Tadasana. Come to the front of your mat. Turn your palms out to the sides. Bring your arms up. Keep looking forwards here. Bend your knees and touch the floor. Now bring your hands to either sides of your feet. So again, you may need to bend your knees. Take a big step back with just your left foot, touching to the back of the mat. Keep that back leg straight. Now bring the back knee down. Pick that back knee back up again and come into plank. So step your right foot back. Bring your knees down to the floor. Slowly come all the way down. Then curl your belly up and your chest up into cobra. Downward facing dog. Bring your feet to sitting bone distance apart in down dog, so they're closer together than they were before. Raise your left leg behind you for three-legged dog. Bring your knee to your nose, hover just for a moment, and step your left foot forward in between your hands. Back leg stays straight. Bring your back knee down to the floor. Now pick that back knee back up again and step your back foot forward. Feet again sitting bone distance apart. Raise your chest. Try and make more space between your chest and the floor. And as you exhale, fold to Uttanasana. Coming to standing, bend your knees, sweep your arms out to the side, come all the way up with your hands overhead, look forwards, and bring your hands down by your sides. Turn your palms out to the side again. Inhale, bring your arms up. Bend your knees, exhale, fold, touch the floor. Again, either sides of your feet, so bend your knees as you need to. Inhale, raise your chest, look up. As you exhale, take a big step back with just your right foot. Pick up your right foot, reach it back, step back. Keep the legs straight for a moment. Squeeze your bottom strong here. Bring the back knee down. Keep your hands on the floor. Pick the back knee up. Step back into plank. Inhale, one inhalation in plank. Exhale, bring your knees to the floor and come all the way down. So we're not doing chaturanga today. We're taking it a little bit more easy. Inhale, curl up to cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Feet again, sitting bone distance apart. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Pause for a moment. Step your foot in between your hands. Now stay here with the back leg straight and strong. Bring your knee back down to the floor. Stay. Inhale, straighten that back knee. Look forward and step your back foot forward. Raise your chest out of the Uttanasana. Exhale, fold to Uttanasana. Come to standing, bend your knees, sweep your arms out to the side. Keep looking forward. Now bring your hands down by your sides. Bring your arms out to the side again. Keep looking forward. Bend your knees, exhale and touch the floor. Inhale, raise your chest, look up. As you exhale, walk back to downward facing dog. Again, sitting bone distance apart. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. And as you exhale, step your foot in between your hands, so no pausing there. Now for warrior two, bring your back heel down. Bring your left arm up, shoot it forwards, and then rainbow it over your body. Turn your front palm up and reverse your warrior. Look at your back foot and breathe into your right leg. Now make this an easy one. You don't have to bend that front knee a lot here. Do make sure the knee is pointing forward, so press down through the outside edge of your front foot. This is more about creating some ease and space in your side body, rather than creating a lot of strength. Come back to warrior two. Look down, touch down, back to downward facing dog. Feet again, sitting bone distance apart. Inhale the left leg behind you, more or less parallel to the floor. And exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Bring your back heel down. Warrior two again. Again, nice and easy here. Don't have to do the biggest, widest, strongest warrior two of your life. Reverse your warrior, turn the left palm up. Look at your back foot, so you're anchoring your gaze down. Breathe into your left lung. Push your feet down nice and evenly, the inner and outer edges of both feet. Back to warrior two. Downward facing dog, touch down. Now, pigeon prep. So bring your right knee behind your right wrist and bring your back knee down to the floor. Bring your toenails down, your back toenails down. And from here, move your left hip point forward and your right buttock back. Now we're going to change this. Bring your right buttock completely down to the floor as you bring your right hand out to the side to stabilize yourself. Then bend your back leg and reach around for the front of your left ankle as you gently draw your heel towards your buttock, but maybe not touching. Turn your chest a little bit more up towards the ceiling. And again, not a big amount of ambition going on here, just ease and space being encouraged into your body. Release that back leg. Go back to downward facing dog. So from here, bring your hands to either side of your front leg, pick up your back knee, then step that right leg back. Other side, bring your left knee behind your left wrist. Bring your back knee down. Back toenails to the floor, so you've got some real feeling of connection there. Stay here for a few more breaths. Just getting used to this shape, As you move your right hip forward, squeeze your left buttock in. Bring your left buttock completely down to the floor and your left hand out to the side. Bend your back leg, grab the front of the shin, and then gently move that right hip forward as you turn your chest more towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders here. Relax any gripping you might be feeling in your jaw. A couple more breaths here. It's worth staying here a while. Release that back leg. Come back more into the first position of Pigeon Prep. Tuck your back toes under and come into downward facing dog. Now pedal your heels in this down dog. So bend your right knee and press your left heel down to the floor and let your left buttock swing a little out towards the left. Let the whole pelvis, of course, swings out to the left. Then change sides. Straighten your right leg, bend the left knee and swing over to the right. And then do that a couple more times in your own rhythm, but not quickly. More or less in the rhythm of one inhalation on one side, the exhalation on the other side. Then come into a normal down dog. Bend your knees now and sit onto your heels. And before we come into our visualization, a little bit of work with the strap, lengthening the legs out a little bit more. So put your bottom in the middle of the mat, reach around and get your strap. Bring your elbows to the floor, your back, your head all the way down. Make sure that your strap is in reaching distance and lengthen your legs long down the mat. Squeeze your legs together. If you've got a ponytail in, like I have, just move it out of the way. Now, stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. So bring your right knee in towards your chest, get your strap, and put the strap underneath the ball of your right foot and lengthen that leg up. Now, if your knee is bent, slide your hands down the strap so that you can straighten your leg and squeeze the front of your leg, your quadricep muscles. Look at the right knee and turn it out to the right a little bit more. So as if there were a laser pointer coming out of the middle of the knee, it would touch your right shoulder, the outside of your right shoulder. Toes are also turning out to the right. Now put both straps into your right hand. Bring your left arm way out to the left, so you've got some counterbalance here, as you now bring your right leg down towards the right. Lead with a little toe. And if you want to bring your right elbow to the floor as a kickstand, please do. Otherwise, perhaps if you're used to this pose, that arm can be straight. Both legs straight and strong, push long with the inner heels. But again, not to that point of massive ambition, just because it feels good. Bring that leg back up now. Bend your knee, take the strap away. Lengthen your right leg long down the mat next to your left leg. Squeeze your legs together. Keep the right leg as it is. Pick up your left leg. Pick up your head as much as you need to position that strap. And then bring it back down and turn your left leg a little out to the left. So again, it's kind of directed towards the outside of your left shoulder. Push both of your heels long away from the center of your body. Relax your arms and your shoulders. Take a few warm, long breaths here. Put the right strap in your left hand, bring your right arm out to the side, and then bring your left leg, leading with the little toe, down to the left, not touching the floor. When you feel the right side of your body coming up away from the floor, pick up that left leg a little bit. Reach long with both legs as you relax your upper back all around your shoulders and your neck. Bring that left leg all the way up. Bend your knee so that you can take the strap away. You don't need it anymore now, so just put it to one side. And cross your right leg over your left leg as if you were sitting in an armchair, and draw your knees into the center of your body. And as you do this, turn your feet, twizzle your ankles 2 or 3 times in one direction, then change the direction. Now let your feet be still and possibly draw your knees in a little bit more, lengthening out the lower back, if that's okay for your knees and your hips. Take your hands away, uncross the right leg and cross the left leg over. You might need to move your calf muscles out of the way a bit to get a nice tight cross. And then bring your hands back onto your knees. And again, turn your feet a couple of times one way and then the other way. And then stop. Sometimes when I teach that, I look around the classroom and people are still twizzling their feet. So do come to stillness now. And possibly draw your knees in a little bit more if that's okay for your hips. Take your hands away from your knees, uncross your legs, bring your feet to the floor. Now, for the visualization, I want you to turn onto one side and get your towel or your blanket if it's not in close reach, so that you have it and you can place it as a pillow, unless you actually have a really nice pillow, underneath where your head is going to go. So either a pillow or a blanket or a towel. And when you lie down, keep your knees bent for the moment. Make sure that the fold of the towel really is touching the tops of your shoulders. And you might even be able to gently press that in around the sides of your necks, cradling yourself a little bit, and even around your head slightly. And push the back of your head a little bit more away from you, so you lengthen the back of your neck down a little bit more in contact with the towel. And then push in there so that you're supported a bit more with that back neck, so there's no negative space there. Bring your arms down by your sides and stretch your legs long. If you're feeling a little cold here, reach around for your other blanket and make sure that you're feeling really, really comfortable. Close your eyes. And imagine now that you are in a garden, a beautiful spring to summertime garden. It's not too hot. There's a cool breeze, but you feel warm. Visualize a garden that you love to be in, a garden that makes you feel peaceful and relaxed. It could be a Japanese Zen garden, it could be a tropical garden, or an English garden with roses and foxgloves, or an Italian garden, or any sort of garden that you love. And you're there alone, but you don't feel lonely. You're walking on a beautiful grass path with no shoes on. The grass is super soft and it feels warm and velvety underneath the soles of your feet. Smell all the smells around you, the smells created by the bushes, the trees, the flowers. Listen to the sounds around you. The sounds of the wind moving the trees and these bushes, even sounds of insects, birds. And look around you as well, really taking in the different shades of green, the colours of any flowers and plants that are there, the clouds, the blue in the sky. You feel very safe. You feel very at home. Walk along this beautiful grass path. Gazing at the horizon, all you see around you is garden and beauty. Perhaps mountains in the distance. Maybe you know that the sea is there. And as you walk along this path, you notice a woman, a figure, walking ahead of you. She's walking with a lot of confidence and poise and grace. And you realize that this is your future self. This is your future self who has already been through the challenges that you're going through now. And you know that she's overcome them very well. She's a wiser version of you. And you know that you want to talk to this future self. So you walk a little more quickly. And you know that whatever she is, that is what you want to grow into. She embodies the best life that you can envision for yourself. So now you're walking side by side with her. And you both feel very comfortable walking together. You match her stride. You even match her breath. And maybe you have a question for her. Maybe a few. Ask them. And listen to her answer. Soften and receive her answer as you walk in sync with her. And as you continue to walk side by side, you ask her questions and she answers them with confidence and surety and with so much love. Feel that you're walking closer to her, still breathing in rhythm, walking in step. And you actually feel that you are becoming her, merging with her. Continue to feel the ground under your feet. Continue to smell the smells and notice the sounds and the environment around you. But also feel this very strong connection. Notice her energy level, her self-esteem and her compassion for your present self, your past self. What does your future self do to be happy, to be her best self? Feel that. You don't even need to talk to her now, you just feel it. Now slowly separate, divide, and go back to your present self, but take with you those feelings of self-assurance, appreciation of your abilities, the elegance, the grace, and the composure that she has given you. And be assured that whenever you wish to return to this special guide in the future, you know where to come back to. So turn now and slowly leave this garden. Slightly move your fingers and your toes here to bring you back to this present moment. Keep this feeling with you. Bend your knees, one leg at a time, bringing the soles of your feet back to the floor. And roll over onto your right side, turning yourself away from your practice, but still very much embodying this feeling of equanimity and grace. Feel it in your body and feel it in your heart and your spirit. Press down now with your left hand and then your right hand, bringing yourself up into a confident, tall, self-assured, seated position. Close your eyes. Slightly lower your chin so you lengthen the back of your neck. And notice if you're leaning over to one side, and correct that so you feel like you're sitting very centrally. Take a few deep, considered breaths here. So finish this exhalation and breathe in deeply. Now exhale completely. 2 more times. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Inhale and exhale. Breathe normally now. With your hands in front of your heart into Anjali Mudra, lower your chin so it touches your fingertips. Release your hands and bring them palm facing down onto your legs. Gently press down. Raise your chin. Open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that that has helped you to feel a little more equanimity and put some ease and space into your body and your mind and your spirit. So come back to this class whenever you feel like you could do with a little bit of that. Please do give the thumbs up if you like this class below, and feel free to write any questions or suggestions or comments in the comments box just below as well. And do remember to subscribe. Thank you, namaste, and I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead.